I've been giving myself some time to think about how I'm going to do this sugar experiment. And I remembered 2 years ago, I stayed 6 months without sugar from July to December. I guess it was Christmas that did the damage because I wasn't expecting it. And I remember I stayed from July to November completely. Um, no cookies, no cakes, nothing. And in November, I had my first piece of cake because it was a gift. Now, how did I do this? At the time, I had decided I'm going to eat whatever I want. I'm not going to refrain myself. But there was a catch. I could only eat it if it was homemade. Either I would make it or someone would make it for me. For me, that's why I had that piece of cake. My friend made the cake at her house, and I have to say I'm a little bit lazy. I don't like cooking, so to eat proper meals, it's and to cook them is hard work enough. I did not baked or did anything. But I looked at it a lot and it's sort of I don't know. I didn't eat it, but looking at it and programming or planning to do them made me feel almost as good as if I was eating them. So for 5 months consecutive, I did not eat added sugars. There was one thing I did eat. Well, when I say no added sugars, actual sugar. But I did had rice and pasta and all those things. And there was one thing I had 2 or 3 times a week. I went out to the coffee and I would have myself a toast. A toasted piece of bread. So it's like, mm, it's, it's that square bread. I don't know the name of it. It comes in package. Two slices of it. They toast it and then they spread butter on top and they cut it in stripes, 3 stripes, and that's what I had with coffee. I've now been out of coffee without drinking coffee since December 13th, and I will try not to give into bread like that because it was my sugar. It didn't felt sugary in the mouth, but it transformed into sugar inside my body. I know that, and those were the cravings. I'll try to go without. But this is something I think I'll try and do this time in the next experiment. Give myself permission to eat whatever I want, but only if I do it at home. And I think it will work well. At the time, I remember I did not lost weight. I have no idea. I did not weigh myself, but it was as if I was a blown up balloon and I started shrinking, especially around my waist. I had a waist. Um, I'm sorry, didn't continue that at the time. I mustn't have. One of those things that happens and one doesn't pay attention, and then it's ruined, and one only realizes much later. I will try to pay attention this time so it continues way far uh forever. It's like this is the experiment is to get into the habit. It's to keep it. So one of the things is not to refrain myself um from eating, but only eat it if I do it at home. This for the first month. And once a week, I cannot have uh, anything. I don't know if I'll be eating things every day like I have, unfortunately, since January 5th. But I will do my best so that once a week at least, one day a week, I will not eat anything with added sugar. Nothing. Zero. I can't make it. Doesn't matter if I made it or not. Zero added sugar. And the goal is to increase it for 2 days on the second month and for 3 days on the third month. But I'm going to need more strategies for this. The first month will be this, and I'll try and find two more strategies for the other 2 months. And I'm not sure if this will be the first strategy I'll use or not, but it is one. I am thinking about the experiment and sharing my thoughts with you, but the experiment in itself is not yet concluded. It's just that I didn't want to write this down, so I decided to make the video. It is recorded both for me and for you if you want to listen. And when I do make up the experiment, I will have this in consideration.